Hey again, everybody. This is part 2 of my mini pocket-size adult coloring book collection and full flip-throughs. If you're just coming into this video, go back first and find the first video, which is part 1. I'll try to link it below because I just covered 2 other of Selena Finch's Fake Adorable ones, a mini push teen book, a fashion book, a little mini Halloween book, a mini Joanna Basford. So these are the other Selena Finch ones. I ended my other video talking about the Grayscale minis and the Gothic minis. I love all of Selena Finch's books. There are quite a few others of her minis I don't have because I'm showing you all the ones I have. So if I haven't shown it to you, then I don't have it. Like some of these Enchanted, Magical minis, Gothic, Mermaids, Fairy. You know, and sometimes it's hard to decide because I can only go by the sample images you see like on the Amazon page or whatever. And it's like I might see, if I see 1 or 2 I'm not as into, then it makes me not want to buy the whole thing. But this is gorgeous. The Grayscale minis. It's so beautiful. It's almost like too pretty to color in. It's like a book of artwork. No doubt. No kidding. Now, if you're new to Grayscale or haven't done Grayscale, I'm going to tell you that the first time I did Grayscale, I was coloring for about 4 years before I even tried Grayscale because I didn't understand, like, how can that be bright and colorful? It's all dark and dreary, and what about the gray? You can't cover it up. Boy, was I, not acting the genius because I was wrong. And when I finally tried it, I did it all wrong. I thought you have to use your lightest markers or whatever on the dark parts so the color would show, when the truth is, if you're coloring Grayscale, the dark is your guide. The dark is meant to show you where to put your darkest markers. Let's say you want to do her hair in 3 shades of brown or with some blonde highlights. The darkest areas are where you want to do the darkest brown because they're putting in the shadows for you already. Like if this was a human and standing in front of you, where it's the darkest would be the darker parts of her natural hair, and you'd see the lighter and browns and blondes coming through as, her darker hair underneath, which is her natural color showing. So all you have to do is remember the darker parts is where you put the darkest colors, the lightest parts is where you put the lightest colors, and you will be surprised what you can do. I recommend starting with alcohol markers. Of course, my favorites that these look gorgeous with any of these Grayscales are the Copic markers, the Ohuhu markers, which are probably more my favorite over the Copics, but those are my top 2. I love my Tombow. Those are water-based, so those could tear up the paper. But Tombow now has the pro ones, which are alcohol, and you can also get some budget ones like the Shuttle Art. I have the giant, like 280 set of Shuttle Art alcohol markers, and they are great. I mean, they do the job and they go really nicely on Grayscale. So just, get an affordable pack of alcohol markers. If you don't have any, get a little Grayscale book and give it a shot. Start with a picture you don't like the most first to practice, because your first few attempts, it's going to look like, a train ran over it probably. But the point is for you to learn and get better, and you will see really quickly what works and what doesn't work. These are almost like bookmarks. Aren't they gorgeous? Gorgeous. Hope. Oh, we definitely need that in this day and age. Love. I could use some of that. Aw, okay. And the other one I'm about to show you, oh, the Mermaid, so pretty. Ooh, me likey. I'm about to show you the Gothic minis next. I love Gothic stuff. I actually started my bachelor's degree originally in medieval literature. Because, eventually I changed that to just basic English literature because I realized there aren't a lot of places you can work a career with, especially in medieval literature, Renaissance literature. So, but I've always been fascinated with that time frame. So I would love any coloring books that are, like, I don't have any. I haven't really had a chance to see any that are just medieval era and Renaissance era coloring books. I don't have any of those either, and I would really like that. Here is the second one, Gothic Minis, Pocket-Sized Dark Fantasy Art by Selena Finch. This one has a few that look a little more Halloween-y. Halloween-y. Okay. This one is not grayscale, it's line art. Dragon, so, you know, you have a little bit of mythical stuff. I'm less into the mythical and more into realistic, like medieval or Renaissance. I mean, anything, you know, Arthurian legend, I do enjoy that, but not so, you know, more on the realism than the fantasy part. That's why I didn't pick up her mini fantasy one, because, you know, and I haven't seen it, so I can't say if I like it or not, but you know, I'll do 1 or 2 dragons here and there, but they're not my favorite. Look at that Halloween. So cute. More Halloween. Cutie. Ew. Gargoyle. Oh, ew. Sorry if my hand's in the way. It's like really hard to flip through this without my hand being in the way. I would love for Selena Fenech to make a mini of that fairy tale book too. This is really, I'm going to do this one for sure. Love that, because this is a very like Elizabethan gown almost, with a little bit of goth to it. By the way, I just purchased Deborah Muller's Gothic Charm School. I bought it on the Etsy PDF. Such a gorgeous book, and only if you have the right kind of paper to print it yourself should you get it. Otherwise, you should buy the book, because it's so much fun. Very like gothic and whimsical at the same time. Love it. I've already done a few pictures of that, and you will see them in my What I Colored in August 2022 video I'll try to release on September 1st. A few are from Gothic Charm School. I think I did one from her other new one, which is the Zodiac Witches too. And this, you know, this has a little bit of a I mean, there are very close ties between the medieval realm and the Gothic. Like, Gothic literature is, you know, entirely centered around the medieval era. Because Gothic literature, for example, is associated with thematically, as far as setting, it always contains, you know, sort of forlorn characters and landscapes, dark castles, gray, misty, wet, dreary weather, dark kind of animals, maybe ghosts or spirits, open, eerie, cold castles, palaces and buildings, cathedrals, with like kind of the under elements of the spiritual realm, but in more of an eerie, this is not the place I want to be kind of a way. A lot of rolling hills and plains, you know, if you think of Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights, Agnes Grey, all the Bronte sister novels. I was actually an English teacher, a college English teacher, you guys, so sorry if I start rambling about literature. Well, there is that one. Gosh, it makes me miss all my Gothic novels. Gothic minis. Love this book. Love Selena Fenech. Love, love, love. Love everything. Love it all. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you this Sweet and Simple Whimsy Girls Mermaid pocket size coloring book. I've been buying Hannah Lynn's books since the beginning of my coloring days, when I was terrible. If I go back and look at some of the books I have, my work is abhorrent and I can hardly stand to look at it, and I laugh out loud when I see it compared to what I can do now. And it kind of makes me want to get rid of all those and rebuy all the books in the artist edition and start them over with my new skills, so there's actually something to look at. It's kind of funny. I should do a video, the worst art I've ever done. Fledgling art. So I was so excited to learn about this. What I plan on doing for this book is Sweet and Simple Whimsy Girls. Here's all the little thumbnails of them. What I plan on doing for this book is using it as a guide. So I have probably a dozen different skin tone markers, pens, and pencils, like the Koh-i-Noor. I have the Hoo-Hoo skin tone. I have the Copic skin tones. I have the Prisma skin tones. I have the Black Widow skin tones. Like, I have every skin tone set. And I don't do paper swatches like the charts, like you see people do the swatches. Any of you colorists on there who are so awesome that do that. I don't do that because I don't have the patience for it, and those will just get wrinkled or lost. I like to like, I color skin tones, you know, as I discover combinations I like, and I write down a log. So I can remember to use this combo next time. So what I'm going to do with this book is I'm going to use it as to practice my faces. And skin tone is hard. I'm going on close to 6 years, and skin tone is hard. It's taken me this, like, I avoided it for years, and then it's finally with the Copics, I mastered some skin tones. You can see from my art, I've never really mastered the skin tones with pencils. And so I'm going to practice all my different skin tone mediums in this book and just do the skin, and maybe write in pencil on the back what I used, you know, Black Widow, these color combinations, and then whatever, you know, and then practice with them. And this book was like $5. So if I wreck it and half of them with my skin tone practice, I can just buy a new one. And the ones that turn out really good and the faces are good, then I'll color in the picture, right? But then I can like have this as my little face skin tone mini guide to picking out different skin tone combinations, and instead of having those like faces cards that you can print out on Etsy. You know what I'm not clear on? I mean, there's a few Hannah's books I don't have. I don't know if this is a mini of one of her other books or these are unique images. Like, I just realized I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen any of these in the books I have. Does anybody know? Drop me a comment below if you have this, or if you know if these are unique images, or if this book also, if these images are also in one of her larger books. I mean, I feel a little ignorant in that regard, but I don't know it all. I just know what I like and what works. But yeah, see how this is all hair and faces primarily? A good way to practice your faces. And if you're new at skin tones, great thing to practice on. There's nothing worse than like avoiding the skin because you don't do well at skin, and doing the hair, the background, the clothes, and then you go to do the skin, and then the skin gets wrecked or has streaks or looks terrible, and now what would have been a beautiful page, you feel like it's wrecked. And you always do the skin tone first, always, because if it's bad, you won't waste your time going forward and wasting valuable ink or lead or time. Believe me, I learned the hard way. And plus, I do skin tone, and then I like to match the hair and clothes to the skin tone. And if you aren't very good at skin tone and there's an image you really love, don't practice on that. Trust me. Been there, done that. Learned the hard way. So these are super cute. Love this little pocketbook. Love Hannah. She hardly comes out with any new books. Like the Whimsy Girls Around the World was that a year ago? Like Deborah Muller releases a new one like every 3 months, or like every month. Actually, it's been every month this last year. And Hannah's like years in between. I know she has her Patreon. I am a member of her Patreon, and she releases 2 images per month, but I'd love to see some new books. That's what I would love to see. Okay, I'm going to show you the pocket size Sherry Baldy, my Besties Under the Sea Mermaid coloring book. Color and Create with Sherry Baldy. I do have a large size Besties. If you want to see it, I'll show you at the end. It's right by my foot. I can almost reach it. It's a Besties fall one. I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. But these are, again, very whimsical pictures. They're kind of plain. There are 2 of each. I'm kind of like torn. I don't like them as much as the Fadorables. I don't like them as much as any of Deborah's or Hannah's stuff. They have kind of these kind of cute bobbly heads. So there's 2 of each. So, I mean, that's always a plus if you're worried about, you know, messing something up. I just feel like there's not a lot of variety in this book. And I'm going to tell you the truth about any book I see, and can't buy my opinion, so I'm just going to say it like it is. These are very plain, but they're cute little mermaids, and you can do a lot with the backgrounds. I don't think this is as cute as the Fadorables. This could be a good little gift for a beginning girl or teenager colorist. Anyone who loves mermaids and likes more simple images. Personally, I don't like books that have 2 of the same page. I feel like they're just doing fillers, and I'm paying for a whole book and only getting half of a book, because I've never done the same picture twice in my whole coloring years. Never. I don't like that. I want every page to be unique. Does anybody else feel that way? It's like, if I'm paying, it's like when you buy like a bag of Lay's potato chips, or go to Trader Joe's and get a bag of those pita chips, and like, it's a big bag, right? But you get home and you open it up and like all the air puffs out, and then the bag's only half full, and you're like, I paid for a full bag and they only fill these bags halfway, and you feel so kind of gypped, right? Isn't that cute? They're cute. Let me show you. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. I have it here. Oh, I just saw you. Oh, there it is. This is the large size, just to show you. My Besties Fall Days Sherry Baldy adult coloring book. I'm just not loving it. This is new. Some of them are cute. I mean, you definitely have more to color in this big one. This is supposed to be a mini video, so pretend you're not seeing this. I do like this pumpkin spice latte. But see, the heads look very huge, like bobbly. I don't know. I'll be honest, I like this better than the mini. I wasn't clear if I was going to keep this one, but you know, now that I'm looking at it, it has some good fall images. I don't have a lot of fall images because it's actually a fall book. I just caught on. Oh, that's cute. So you can just kind of see the difference between the two. These are both from Amazon. All right. So what's next? I'm going to show you something very unique and kind of funny. These are a set. Well, you buy them separately, but they go together. This is the Reptilians 1 and 2 pocket size coloring books. Same size as the others, which are what, like, how big are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 by 6 or something. They're very thin. They're shiny and glossy. They're really cute. I love the first one the most, which I'm going to show you. Is there an author? I'm sorry, artist. Blah, blah. Vasil Saiko. I don't know, but these were on Amazon. I think they're kind of funny. They're like little portraits of, you know, reptile creatures. Single-sided. Kind of quirky. This just reminds me of the Haunted Mansion pictures at Disneyland and Disney World when you're walking down the hallway and like you see all these weird little psycho creatures in their frames that are look almost 3D and realistic as you're walking down the hallway and you kind of are a little creeped out. Kind of reminds me of those. And there is one reason I don't like the second one as much, which I'll tell you in a moment. I feel like some of these look like Star Wars characters too. I don't know. Oh, that's so funny. I just think these are... I hope I'm staying within camera view. I'm moving all around. I hope the book's not going out of camera view because I'd feel bad. These are kind of cute, right? They're different. Like I made a vow this year to amp up my coloring skill level, you know, several notches, and finally just make the splurge and get some kind of books I've never done, try something different. Because, you know, we know what we like. We always stick with the same thing. It's time for me to branch out. So I thought I'd get this in that little horrors book, which is something different. It is really cute, though. Aren't they cute? And they're very unique. This one is, I don't like because they're mostly all landscape. Like there's 2 or 3 that are like this. But they're almost all like this. And I feel like it's squashed down and they're unusually narrow and like cut off or something. Like it bugs me. They're almost all landscapey. And I don't just, I like to open a book and read it or look at the pictures like a book and not have to look at them sideways. And I wonder if he offered these landscape because his first book only had like 1 landscape. So I'm probably not going to do this one. I'm just going to do the first one or some pictures in the first one. See, they just feel, I feel like they're scrunched. And the pixelation is a little weird. I think it's good in any coloring book to have 2 or 3 landscape, but I like the upright ones. And it's easier to work with the books when they're upright. It's really hard to be coloring in this and have it keep going like this on you. Like, no, seriously. Like, it's hard for me to even show it to you. But the first one definitely is cute. I wish he would just, it'd be kind of fun to make this in a bigger book. The like ones that are like the first ones. There's a couple of these, but like the spine isn't breaking very well. It's hard to keep it open. I'm gonna get to the end here. So you get the idea. So of these two, I like the first one. They're kind of fun, fantasy looking characters. I need to check the timestamp, see if we're gonna have to go to a third video. Not yet. Okay. Saving some of my faves for last. I'm gonna show you. Oh, I love this one. We're talking about fantasy. My Mini Inklings by Tanya Bond. I don't know if you've seen the Astro Inklings or any of the other Inkling coloring books. Size reference. Here is a large Creative Haven book. So it's still considered a mini, not as much a pocket, but it is a small book. It's got that matte finish. I love this book. They're really pretty. I've never had a Tanya Bond book. I don't have any of her large books. This is nice. It's like a little bigger than this one, but not full size either. So it's kind of in between. They're single-sided. They're unique. Everyone is unique. And I've heard about, but I don't have it. I would love to have her Astro Inkling or some large book that has the Zodiac. Like I've seen some completed pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that book. I don't have that book. I love this one. I can't wait to color in it. And I like how there's like a name for each and how unique they are. The paper is nice. I think it's that Amazon paper still, but you can do pastels and pencils, and if you don't, care if it goes through, then markers. That would terrify me doing that skin. I'm very excited because you guys want to know what I ordered from Etsy that I've wanted forever and ever. And I still don't have it. Like I got it when I got the Clara Markova book. I don't have Clara Markova's last one, like from a year ago, the Fairy Celebration or whatever the green cover one is. So I ordered that with the little postcard book. But I also bought the Wild Animal Soiree and the Moonlit Veil or something, and they look so beautiful. So I can't wait to see that in person. Those are the kind of books that are going to be so pretty, I'm going to be afraid to color in them. I love this one. This one it would be nice if you don't do anything that bleeds through. If you can complete the whole book, it would be really fun to go back and look through these. It has a nice color test page. Info about the artist. So that's the Mini Inklings. I really like this book. Next, I want to show you this one. No! Actually, I'm going to have to go to a third video because I have one batch left. So this is the end of part 2. We have one more mini coming next. Be sure you watch them all because I still have Deborah Muller's special limited edition mini books, The Portrait of the Mermaid. I have a couple of from a series by Design Originals left, and I have a mini color it tablet mandala. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.